So let me tell you the best diet for weight loss and health. Now, there's been some pretty crazy diets that have happened in the last 100 or so years. And some of the craziest from the last 100 years I wanted to share with you. So, have you heard of the tapeworm diet? So this diet apparently involves swallowing a tapeworm egg, which would then hatch, and the tapeworm would live in someone's intestines. And the idea was that the tapeworm would consume some of the food that the person ate, leading to weight loss. And this diet was really popular in the early 20th century, but it's definitely not recommended anymore, as it can lead to serious health problems, and probably didn't work either. The air diet, yeah. Apparently, the air diet was a thing where you imagine that you're eating the food and sometimes even prepare the food so that you really get the whole experience. And then you eat air whilst imagining you're eating the food. So the claim was that you would lose weight by detoxifying your body. But in reality, you lose weight because you weren't eating anything. And then came the cigarette diet. Now, I think we all know that that's not the best for you. So this diet was popular in the 1920s and 1930s and involves smoking as many cigarettes as you needed to suppress your appetite. Needless to say, that's an incredibly dangerous way to lose weight. And then there was the baby food diet. So you could eat as much as you wanted, but you could only eat jars of baby food throughout the day. And then they would claim that that was then an easy way of managing your portion sizes and your calorie intake, but not really sustainable, quite boring. What happens when you eat out? Do you ask the restaurant to warm up a jar of baby food? I don't know, but that didn't seem to last very long. And then the grapefruit diet, does anyone remember that? That was popular in the 1930s and the 1970s. And this involved eating a grapefruit with every meal. And it was believed that the idea was that the grapefruit contains an enzyme that helps to burn fat, but there was never any scientific evidence that that could happen from just eating one grapefruit. So, have you tried any crazy diets? Which ones have worked for you? And what do you mean by worked? I mean, sure, things that have worked for me are things like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Sickness Bugs, Stress, Nerves, Cambridge Diet, Herbalife. Those kind of things work if we're just talking about weight loss. And any of us could take a diet off the shelf and follow it, and we would lose weight. In fact, if you stuck to something that involved calorie restriction, you would lose weight. But that's not the point, is it? We could all go and do that, but what happens next? We know that to follow a diet, it needs to be something that we can follow for life. Otherwise, what happens when you come off it? So therefore, by definition, it can't really be a diet. It's just a way of eating, and it's your way of eating. That's the only thing that will work for you, is your way of eating. The ultimate aim would be to eat a mainly whole food diet most of the time. So you're talking about whole grains, fruit, vegetables, lean meats, and fish, and a little bit of other things some of the time. So how do you get there? Well, step by step and slowly. And by hanging around people and surrounding yourself with things that will help you with that. But it's so much more complicated, isn't it? And we've got to look at our motivations. We've got to look at some of the things we've maybe gone through in the past. We've got to look at why we crave food when we're emotional. There's so many different things that we need to kind of maneuver through. And that's why it's not as simple as it sounds. It's not just a case of eating less and moving more. It's not just a case of eating healthily. It is, but it isn't. We need to go through a bit of a process. And I specialize in helping people with that. And I'm passionate about helping people to lose weight, feel great, stop dieting, and find freedom in this area for good. So if you would love to find this, to feel great, and to eat in a healthy way most of the time, lose weight, and for it to feel natural and make you feel great, then perhaps consider our Healthy, Whole and Free course. It's a 6-step process. I'm just going to read you the steps that we go through. So we set the right foundations. We look at what's going on in our lives and make sure that we're in the best place possible to move forward, to eat healthily and to lose weight. We get rid of any dieting mentality that's gone before. So any of those kind of wacky diets you've tried, anything you might be believing, such as carbohydrates make you fat, or don't eat peas and sweet corn, or avocados are fattening, or don't eat nuts, whatever it is that you might have learned in the past, then we get rid of all those lies. And we teach that food is not inherently bad at all. All food can serve a healthy purpose, and it's just your choice at that time. Then we deal with any environmental things, so anything that's going on in your body that makes you want to crave certain foods. So that could be really physical cravings. You could be stuck in the sugar cycle, or it could be hormonal. So we look at all those kind of things and what's going on in our body and also in the environment around us. And then we look at changing habits. We look at developing new healthy habits and getting rid of some of the habits we don't like. And we look at overcoming self-sabotage, where we get in our own way of what we actually want. And we look at ending emotional eating as well. So I would love you to come and grab a place on our course. It's £29 per month. You get so much teaching, so much information. You get live sessions you can come to if you want to, or you can just do it in your own pace. We've got a supportive community and people finding freedom in this area and being able to eat what they want when they like and have a healthy whole food diet most of the time and still be able to do all these normal things such as eating out, having an ice cream on holiday. Let's just live normally, but healthier, wholer and freer. So click on the link below if you're interested. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you soon. Take care, and don't forget to let me know if you've watched this. Bye-bye.